Finally, I want to talk about human mobility, which I do not perceive as a threat, even if some do. I see it as a challenge that, if properly managed, can help bring the world together. Let us be clear. We do not only face a refugee crisis, we also face a crisis of solidarity. Every country has the right to control its own borders, but that must be done in a way that protects the rights of people on the move. Instead of closed doors and open hostility, we need to re-establish the integrity of the refugee protection regime and the simple decency of human compassion. With a truly global sharing of responsibility, the number of refugees we face can be managed. But too many states have not risen to the moment. And I commend those countries that have shown admirable hospitality to millions of forcibly displaced people. We need to do more to support them. And we also need to do more to face the challenges of migration. The truth is that the majority of migrants move in a well-ordered fashion, making positive contributions to their host countries and homelands. It is when migrants move in unregulated ways that the risks become clear. Risks for states, but most especially risks for migrants themselves exposed to perilous journeys. Migration has always been with us. And climate change, demographics, instability, growing inequalities, and aspirations for a better life, as well as unmet needs in labor markets, mean it is here to stay. And the answer is effective international cooperation in managing migration to ensure that its benefits are most widely distributed and that the human rights of all concerned are properly protected. From my experience, I can assure you that most people prefer to realize their aspirations at home. But we must work together. Development cooperation must be oriented in a way to make sure that they can do so. Migration should be an option, not a necessity. And we also need a much stronger commitment of the international community to crack down on human traffickers and to protect their victims. But let's be clear. We will not end the tragedies on the Mediterranean, the Andaman Sea, and elsewhere without creating more opportunities for regular migration. These will benefit migrants and countries alike. I myself am a migrant, as are many of you in this room. But no one expected me to risk my life on a leaky boat or to cross a desert in the back of a truck to find employment outside my country of birth. Safe migration cannot be limited to the global elite. Refugees, internally displaced persons, and migrants are not the problem. The problem lies in conflict, persecution, and hopeless poverty. And I've been pained to see the way refugees and migrants have been stereotyped and scapegoated, and to see political figures stoke resentment in search of electoral gain. In today's world, all societies are becoming multicultural, multi-ethnic, and multi-religious. And this diversity must be seen as a richness, not as a threat. But to make diversity a success, we need to invest in social cohesion, so that all people feel that their identities are respected and that they have a stake in the community as a whole. Excellencies, we need to reform our world, and I'm committing to reforming the United Nations. Together, we have embarked on a comprehensive reform effort to build a UN development system to support states in bettering people's lives, to reinforce our ability to safeguard people's peace, security, and human rights, and to embrace management practices that advance those goals instead of hindering them. We have launched a new victim-centered approach to preventing sexual exploitation and abuse, and we have a roadmap to achieve gender parity at the United Nations, and we are already on our way. Excellencies, we are here to serve, to relieve the suffering of we the peoples, and to help fulfill their dreams. We come from different corners of the world. Our cultures, religions, and traditions vary widely, and I would say wonderfully. At times, there are competing interests among us. At others, there is even open conflict. And that is exactly why we need the United Nations. And that is exactly why multilateralism is today more important than ever. We call ourselves the international community. We must act as one, because only together, as United Nations, can we fulfill the promise of the Charter and advance human dignity for all. Thank you, shukran, xie xie, merci, spasiba, gracias, bem-aja.